Hey guys, RC here, back on Twitch, and this is going to be our Bullbound College Football and WWCF Radio. And we just finished week one, and so wanted to come in and just take a look at what was going on. Um, Naturally, you can see here Michigan was upset. Not very happy with that. So we'll just start up here with the ACC in week one. Uh, a battle of the big guns, Maryland and Cal. Cal with a 17-point explosion in the fourth quarter. Came very close. And if we take a look at the game log, my understanding from Darren is that Cal, let's see, Maryland got the field goal to go up 33-22. All right, then Cal came down and drove for a touchdown, made it 36-28 after the PA, or 36-29. Onside kick, and Cal recovered it. So, yeah, they got the ball back. We had a 6-yard hookup into Maryland territory. An incomplete pass. A 12-yard corner route for the first down with 20 seconds left. A 10-yard screen down to the Maryland 16-yard line with 14 seconds left. A 4-yard hookup. He went out of bounds as time expired. So yeah, that was 4-yard hookup. So I guess they got down to about the 10-yard line and just ran out of time. Surprised they ran the hook. That was probably a place that from the Maryland 16. They probably could have taken 2 shots into the end zone. But hey, big comeback by Cal. Fell just a little short. I mean, the tying touchdown, they were about 10 yards away. Anything else that jumps out here? Cincinnati got the win. Georgia crushed Boston College. The Hurricanes got the win. Does anybody else get a ton of soliciting calls? This is literally like my 20th one today, and it pisses me off. Let's see. Nothing else jumps out there. Louisville took the loss. Taking a look at week two. I'm sorry, not week two. Let's move on to the Big East. So Cincinnati repeat. Rutgers got the win. Let's see. They had Ben Young is a junior. So wow, he started his junior quarterback. Another junior quarterback. Fisher, the redshirt freshman. Huh. Oh, that's Hawaii. Am I looking at the... Oh, here we go. Young. All right, Young's a junior. Hartman's a sophomore. So keep in mind, I'm looking at this because they got 2 of the top 2 quarterbacks in this year's recruiting class didn't even play. So you can guarantee one or both of those guys is likely to transfer after this year. And believe me, even with Michigan and Texas, I might be going after them because I need quarterbacks something badly. North Texas got the win over Arkansas State. Marshall stunned Michigan. We put up 395 yards. I was flabbergasted. My worst rushing performance probably ever. I was actually I've been experimenting with some new playbooks. I've done some solo testing. I've gotten really tired of losing to Darren, so I've actually gone in and I've been testing some playbooks in solo play, and I broke that at one of those out this year, and uh, I wasn't surprised with the number of rushes, but with the quality of my line and my back, I certainly thought I would still generate positive yards, albeit not very many. But we outgained them by about 100 yards. Uh, we both had a fumble. We had one less interception, so I mean, there's no reason that we should have lost this game. Shoot, we even got a safety. Of course, they got a pick six for for their touchdown, but they still would have beat us 20-18 because they missed the 2-point conversion. I'm looking here. We only had one extra point, and we missed a field goal, 3 of 4 in the red zone, but only one. 76 plays and only one touchdown. Not very good. So, I'm not unhappy with the production from the quarterback. I'm just very unhappy with the results. So, we'll tweak that. We may have to go another week to see how that plays out. But kudos to Marshall for the big win. Heck, we had a guy make player of the game in a loss. South Florida, number 8 in the country, beat Kansas State. Northwestern beat Troy. Pitt was upset by Fresno State. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that Sean Rankins coming back in a 25-point explosion? 28 unanswered points. Took him a half to get the rust knocked off, and then they come back and take out the Panthers. Iowa with a narrow win over Navy. Texas and Michigan State got a very close game. Michigan State scored 14 late in that one. In fact, luckily we had the field goal mixed in there, but we had a 20-3 lead and we were able to make that stand up. So very happy about that. In fact, taking a look at this one, we ended up with, this was again not what I was expecting. 11 carries for 11 yards. 1 yard a carry is not what I expect, but luckily I've got, my old playbook that I can fall back on now. I've got the new playbook, which seems to be working from a passing perspective. I've got a balanced playbook from, that I use periodically that goes back to, the first probably 10 or 12 seasons. And, I had a lot of wins with all of those. We've already discussed that game. USC over Minnesota. Mike continues his unbeaten run with a win over Auburn. Penn State, Purdue, Nebraska over Baylor. Notre Dame over Houston. So all in all, the Big Ten had a pretty good week with the exception of a couple of teams letting us down. Thankfully, they let us down, but not happy with this one for sure. Big 12, already discussed that one. Colorado loses to Air Force, one of my teams. They play, and I was really surprised because this was a game I kind of expected to lose, but there were a couple of matchups that I thought I could take advantage of there, and it looks like it worked out. Bama edges Kansas. That's surprising it was that tight. In fact, look, 137 yards passing led the way. Well, Bama had 313. Oh, it was split between 3 guys. Okay, that's why that was. But still, 313 yards to 137 yards and only winning by 7 points. I mean, were there 2 interceptions for each team? Bama lost a fumble. Okay, so maybe a couple of turnovers. A&M with the win. Oklahoma with the win. James looks like he's hitting his stride pretty early. North Texas and South Florida, we already discussed those games. Missouri loses to Virginia Tech 37-26. Pretty high scoring affair. Texas Tech with a narrow 3-point win over the Bruins, who were just the discussion of topic at the winter meetings about relegation out of the Pac-12 for next year. Um, Boise State with a big win. That team's vacant. Somebody come get them, man. We need a coach at Boise State. They had a coach there. I forget his name, but I can't believe I forgot his name. But he did a bang up job with them. He was at K State for a while too, from what I remember. But did a bang up job with what he had there. Oklahoma State got the win in overtime. Moving on to the Conference USA. Uh, Illinois lost. They're a relegated team from the Big 12. Fresno State, as we mentioned, got the win. Miami of Ohio beat Indiana. Navy lost. Ohio really put it to Florida International. And Louisiana Tech lost to West Virginia. Anybody else in there? Yep. San Diego State, they're a solid team, man. Let me tell you, that's Doc, right? I think Doc's over there, and he certainly knows what he's doing. Mississippi State got the win over Rice. San Jose State, they were another team that just recently got promoted, I think, not too many seasons back. Bowling Green, I'm just looking for anything now that jumps out competition-wise. Up 40-6 over the Cajuns. That's disappointing on a personal level. Wyoming, Sean's team got a big win over Toledo. Western Kentucky over Louisiana Monroe. Utah over Temple in a cupcake game. Kent State, so they're still winning pretty regularly. The Mountain West, Air Force again. Rutgers with the win over Hawaii. A lot of the Mountain West lost this week. Idaho got the win. Myrle's over there, so he's still kicking it up a notch. Bam! New Mexico State got the loss to Oregon as Beats gave them a beatdown. Ole Miss. Actually, that's surprising. Only a 10-point game there, number 2 in the country against UNLV. New Mexico. Pac-12, we already talked about the headline game of the week. USC got the win. Arizona State hung half 100 on App State. Oregon, as we mentioned, with the beatdown. Utah, Texas Tech beating UCLA. Arizona over East Carolina. Stanford lost. Okay, I mentioned San Diego State, but Stanford's the one that took the loss. The Beavers lose to Virginia. San Jose State, are they? Yeah, they've got to be in the Pac-12 now. Okay, that's trying to remember some of these moves from where they're actually at in real life and where they started. I don't remember them all. SEC, we've probably covered a lot of these, but Auburn with the loss, Georgia with the win, Bama in the close game. LSU got the win over Memphis. Ole Miss with that win. Arkansas put it on the Tar Heels. Big explosion for them, 44 points in the first 3 quarters. Florida looking to get back to the national title game. Harry puts up 58. Looks pretty good to start the season. What kind of yardage did they have? 525 to 130. Ouch. 7 touchdowns. You win a lot of games when you put them into the end zone rather than settling for field goals. That's 63-yard run. Wow. Some big home runs. A pick 6. Jeez. Color me jealous. I need to figure out what his offense is. Because I settle for way too many field goals. Always have. South Carolina with the win. Mississippi State with the win. And being that the Sun Belt's the last conference, I know we've talked about all these. Let's see, a loss, loss. Western Kentucky was in the Sun Belt. They must have gotten promoted since this is out of conference week. So Louisiana Monroe loss, and I'm thinking a loss for Southern Miss. So the Sun Belt went winless this week. If we take a look at the polls, Ohio State maintains number 1. Michigan, number 2, lost to Marshall, dropped down to number 6. Everybody else moved up a few spots. The big mover this week was Texas, moving from 12 to 5 with the win over Michigan State. And nobody was unranked last week, so we see a lot of the same teams down here. Cal only dropped a couple of spots with their loss. Cincinnati won, but still dropped 1 spot. Maryland moved up over them with their win over Cal. So most of those are pretty reasonable looks. Let's see. Air Force, I remember, won because that's my team. North Texas still getting some votes. Minnesota did drop out, so 21. Well, who was unranked last week? Well, if somebody dropped out, they had 29. There we go. So Marshall, with the win over Michigan, jumps up from 29 to 22 to break into the polls. So kudos to them. Anyway, like I said, I'm not sure how this Twitch thing's going to work. Not sure if it works at all. I may start doing these as Twitch broadcasts and then recording them and putting them up on YouTube after the fact. But anyway, wanted to give it a run through this week real quick just to see if it works, and then if it does, then the next thing I'll see if I can do a co-broadcast with Sean or somebody else again and do that onto Twitch as well. So thanks for checking it out. We will call this a wrap, and we'll put this up on YouTube in a little while. Thanks for checking it out. Congrats on a start to our 26th season of play in the WWCF. And everybody still got a shot at the postseason. Take care. We'll see you then. Bye.